Good.
When they pull this GPS, will it show that you were at home in your bed, or will it show that you were somewhere else? That's the question that was asked.
I don't know.
You don't know?
This is some shit that's serious. People will kill my family. What am I supposed to do?
Robert, you don't understand that you're just as guilty if you know who did it and you're not saying nothing. That's guilty by association.
What was the point of me snitching on everybody if I was going to get charged? Why did you make me snitch?
I said I don't know.
My life is ruined.
When the bodies of 3 teenagers were discovered over a period of several days in the same neighborhood in Marion County, Florida. The police didn't know what to think. This would set the tone for the rest of the case, as the emerging suspects all seemed intent on blaming each other. The identity of the alleged perpetrator, along with the motive for the heartless murders, turned out to be more alarming than anyone wanted to believe. The police first learned that something was terribly wrong just before midnight on March 30th, 2023, when they received this 911 call. There's a girl laying in front of my road, and she's dying. Okay, is she awake? She's dying. I don't know. She's bleeding out of her head. She's gargling on her blood. You need to turn her on her side so she doesn't choke. Okay, on it doesn't matter what side. On what side? No, just turn her on her side so she doesn't choke on the blood. Okay. Oh my God, is she awake? No. Is she breathing? He's breathing. He's breathing. Do you know? Do you know how far they are? I don't have an ETA, but they are on the way. Okay. Deputies from the Marion County Sheriff's Department arrived moments before the ambulance. While paramedics rushed to try to save the victim, the deputies tried to get a grasp on the chaotic scene. Within 5 minutes of the ambulance arriving, the victim was on her way to the nearest hospital. The sheriff's department was left to pick apart the seemingly inexplicable scene. No. Not responsive. No. There's no ID. No. Nothing young. Girl, older girl issues right there. And that's been moved. She was right there. Right. Yeah. There's blood everywhere. I was not expecting that. No. Well, I thought it was going to be BS. Honestly. Yeah. I immediately thought she had got hit by a car, and I seen the big, but I've never seen an exit wound in a head. Yeah. So I wasn't aware. Oh, yeah. I mean, she's laying down. It's all pulled out. I mean, it was. And she was still breathing. Rapid breathing. But I don't know. Medicine. She goes, okay. Yeah. More than likely. I mean, if she does, that's wild. When police made contact with the 911 caller, they learned that he was just as confused about the situation as the deputies. He only became aware that something was amiss when he got a call from his neighbor across the street. You hear nothing. He told me, it sounded like someone crashed into my dumpster, and then there's 2 shots. The neighbor in question made her way over to talk to the deputies direct. Lane, unfortunately, what she said only served to make the situation even more mysterious. So around what time did you hear? You said it sounded like a gun. Yeah, it wasn't a loud gunshot, I would say about 20, 30 minutes ago. It wasn't a loud gunshot, but I heard about 4 or 5, and I kind of blew it off casually. And then I just look out my window, because I did think it was strange with it, how late it was, and I saw the car run into the dumpster. And once I seen the car run into the dumpster, I stepped out my door, and I seen a man run out of the car towards down the road towards my yard, and I yelled at him, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then I seen him run back towards the car. Take a minute. And I was calling him because it was his dumpster, and I seen him skirt off into the neighborhood. Did you see if anybody was in? There was only one. I only seen one person running, and it was a male. It had a male figure, had a hat on. I want to say he was like 5 foot maybe. But it was only one dude running down the road. This once again tracked with the evidence as police found several sets of footprints at the scene. Did you hear the crash first? Or did you hear what sound? I heard the gunshots first. Where did the deputies close down the main entrances and exits to the Forest Lakes Park neighborhood, hoping to catch the alleged shooter as he attempted to flee? Unfortunately, the area was heavily wooded with plenty of places to hide and lots of back roads. This made for a difficult search for police and an easy getaway for the alleged perpetrator. Meanwhile, the hospital where the victim was being treated was able to provide some help. In that regard, they identified the girl as 16-year-old Layla Silvernail. Her grandparents, who were her legal guardians, were understandably distraught. Detectives first made contact with her grandfather, Kenneth. Layla was found, she would apparently with a gunshot wound, and she was taken to the hospital. So that's part of the reason why we came here, was to let you know about her status. But we also wanted to know any information that you had about who she was with yesterday, who she hanged out with the hospital. For she had a gunshot wound. She was shot. You're kidding. No, that's what I told you. This is what I've been trying to tell you. Hanging around with Kenneth hurried to the back of the house to get his wife. Lisa, Layla's grandmother, only seemed to become more distressed when the detectives tried to ask her questions. Lisa, come here. Lisa, have a seat. Right here is my granddaughter. Okay, will she be okay? We need to be in hospital. I don't know anything about myself. I'm just sent to navigate. Okay, I'm here for you. Have a seat for us. We need some information so we can find out who did this. Okay. We need know, and I will shoot that ass to the snow. No, listen. Now, where was she shot at? Does anybody know anything? She was shot in the head. That's all we have right now. Okay? The situation was actually more horrifying than Lisa knew early on. March 31st, the morning after the shooting, the police stumbled upon the last thing they were expecting. Just blocks away from the crime scene where Layla was found, police discovered a second victim also suffering from a gunshot wound. There was little doubt that the two cases were connected, which made the search for the shooter all the more urgent. Back with Layla's grandparents, the detectives desperately tried to find out who might have been with Layla that night, since they'd already found 2 victims. They had to wonder if more of her friends were hurt or in danger. 2. Lisa, look at me. Who was she with? Yesterday, she came here with some, and I'm gonna tell you everything, 'cause I don't like the people she hangs around with. Anyway, that's what we need. Lisa said. Layla was almost always with her boyfriend, 17-year-old Michael Hodo. She also directed the police to Layla's best friend, who might have more information about her activities the day before the shooting. Another name came up too, and it was one police were already familiar with, and then that runaway girl Camille. Okay, she was with her too. Yesterday, Camille Quarrel 16 had been reported as a runaway by her aunt and legal guardian several weeks prior. It was an open secret that she'd been staying with Layla at her grandparents' house. But no, one had successfully brought her home. Yet when police made contact with Camille's Aunt Amy, she was not shy about expressing her frustration with the investigation. I did call it in this morning to ask somebody to go through there, and nobody has called me back. I've called 5 or 6 times a day since she's been gone. Even worse, Amy's son was hearing all kinds of gossip about the case. At school, people were saying Camille had also been shot. The names of the victims and the location of the crime was seemingly common knowledge. Disturbingly, police had not yet confirmed if Camille was involved. Also, they've not yet released the names of the victims or the location, which meant whoever was spreading this information had to be involved, and there was another body discovered this morning. In that neighborhood. Okay? I don't want to know if it's my child. Okay? The second person is not, Camille. I can identify who that person is, but it's not her. The identity of the second victim only made the case more dire, especially in regards to Camille's safety. Frustratingly, the police were still in the dark about most of the lead up to the crime, up until they got in touch with Layla's best friend Gabby. She was more forthcoming and told the detectives that she'd spent the day with Layla and her boyfriend, Michael Hodo, and several other teens who would soon become an integral part of the case. Was there anybody else in the car, other than you, Layla, any time during the day Camille was there? This was the second statement placing Camille at the scene of the crime. But disturbingly, there was still no sign of her prior to the shooting. Camille's aunt said she'd caught sight of her at the park once or twice, and kept a close eye on her Instagram feed to see what she was up to. Since the night of the 30th, though it had been radio silence back with the detectives, Layla's friend recounted their travels throughout the day. And who else was with the group? We went to Rob. We went to I don't know if it's abandoned. Do you know what a trap house is? Yeah, okay. So, apparently, like this kid. Rob. I don't know him personally, but they do okay. They're like friends or whatever, and we just went over there and we chilled over there. Significantly, Gabby said that Layla had been the one driving all day, but the only sign of her vehicle, a white Chevy Cruze, was a tire track left at the crime scene. The police hoped that finding the vehicle would offer some insight into what happened the night Layla was shot. It last name, or anything else about Rob. No, I don't really know if Rob is like his real name or not, because I know some people know him as Reaper Rob and stuff like that. So was anyone else there at the house besides the three of you and Rob? Well, there was this kid 3-5, but I don't know his real name. What's 3-5 look like? I don't know. He's 12. He's a little. 2 12-year-old detectives knew they needed to track down Rob. And 3-5. They started with Rob, who they believed to be 17-year-old Robert Robinson, who was already incarcerated at a juvenile detention facility for a different offense. When detectives asked them about 305, he directed them to a boy named Christopher Atkins. Shockingly, Gabby was right. He was only 12 years old since Chris and Rob were both minors. Their mothers were asked to join them at the police station before any conversations took place. Chris's mother, Ashley, was the first to arrive. I don't understand where the hell is my son, if he be in question. Why the fuck I'm not in there? Where is which things are? Where is my son? He's in the corner. Right here. You talking to him? No. They're all getting their stuff together. It seems she wasn't convinced they weren't already questioning him, because Ashley did her best to hear what was going on in the other room. After almost 2 hours of waiting, she was finally escorted to the next room to join Chris, who was visibly trembling. Sure, yes, ma'am, absolutely did. You have another jacket? Are you sure you look like a cult? Let me get you. Let me see. You have 4 siblings. Okay. You guys get along. Okay. In the house, the detective set about gradually breaking the ice with Chris all the time, appearing hyper-aware that he was only 12 years old after taking all necessary precautions, like making both Chris and his mother aware of their rights, and establishing on record that Chris knew the difference between right and wrong. They finally got to the issue at hand. So Chris, what I'd like to start with talking to you about is, and like I said, I just want you to be honest with us. I'd like you to talk to me about last Thursday night. First, we eat and eat. Can we watch TV? And I want to sleep for a little bit. And I heard something outside. Out and out window. Nothing outside. Now, I think I'm asleep, so I think what you just told me was what you probably had rehearsed in your mind several times to tell a police officer if you ever had to talk about that Thursday night. Because sitting here and talking to you with your mommy here, crying, and knowing that you have these siblings, you're probably in sort of an embarrassing and shameful position. If you are sorry for what happened, repent for it, and start from the very beginning, and go to the very end, without me having to pull it from, you cause somebody that I have to pull each individual action from, that tells me that they don't really want to say what they did wrong, that they don't feel bad for it. Reaper down there has been super honest. He, took him a minute to get comfortable with me. And, he's told me everything down to details that only he would know. And that involved his son, that nobody else would know. Some of the details. He points finger at you. 17-year-old Rob, also known by the concerning moniker, Reaper, was also being questioned, just like Chris Rob and his mom Erica were both advised of their Miranda rights before the interrogation commenced. I'm trying to bring the best way to say this to you guys. We're investigating several different incidents that occurred over the last couple of weeks, okay? One being a theft of side-by-side. One being the theft of, a burglary. We're investigating a robbery, and we're investigating a murder, okay? Murder. So the first ones you named unbelievable. The last ones you named her name. Well, I'm just not. You don't have the hearts to keep it up. I know for a fact. Okay. What you do on Thursday all day. I mean, I was home all day. Like I was home all Thursday. Okay, who were you with? Was there anybody come over? Did we hang out with anybody? Did you want to go anywhere with anybody? I ain't going over like 1 o'clock. What you guys do? Then we just chilling. Really? Like we just chilling. Okay. Was anybody with at the time? How did he get to your house? Things like that was a joke to my house. It was him, Landon, Layla, and it was another girl with them. I don't know her name. Sosa was a nickname that Layla's boyfriend, 17-year-old Michael, used. Michael's father had last seen him about 6:30 last night. Around the same time, Gabby said she parted ways with the group. Landon was another local boy who police determined didn't know anything that would aid the investigation. As for the unnamed girl, the police likely wondered if she could be the missing Camille and why she hadn't been seen or heard from. Since, did you go anywhere? After 6:30. Robin, oh, how do y'all keep asking? I just keep asking, because we've been working on investigation. What if some y'all think happened? Bro, I'm telling you. I understand that round. Like I only seen social one time that day. Bro, we know you were out of the house after 6:30, okay? We know you were around 7 p.m. thanks to CCTV footage. Police believe that Rob, along with others in the friend group, had been involved in the theft of a vehicle and an armed robbery that night. As serious as these crimes were, they paled in comparison to what police believed happened later. Back in the room with Chris, his mother tried to make him understand the severity of the situation. Well, you need to jail if you ain't the time. Now the whole story, House Thursday. When I told you not to speak, no, you better talk right now. Reaper's already told us what the plan was that night. So there's meaning. We knew what. We know what the original plan was. We're asking you now to be honest, and to come forth and tell us what happened, and why it happened. He not on window. When you say he, I don't know, I never want to guess. Who's he Reaper, aka Rob? Took a lot of convincing before he opened up Rob. Right now, you're protecting KTM and your buddy. You need to think about protecting the disturbing meaning behind KTM will be revealed in due time. For now, the fact that the police knew about the mysterious phrase was enough to get Robbed talking, albeit reluctantly was, that the house when you were with who we with y'all. It was me, 2-5. Layla was there. That was it. The police knew by now that there were more people at the house than just Chris, Rob, Michael. And Layla, did you go anywhere with them that night? No. I ain't go nowhere with them. I just told you I went. I swear to God. Was at the house they said it was gonna leave. I went back home. Actually, Mom, I didn't come in until like late. I didn't come in to after 7 anyways. You don't know what time you came home now. They talk about what number. Like at 17. I was what I was. What I'm saying is, you don't know what time you came home because you defy your curfew so much. You don't know what time you came in. It might have been 8 EUAs. It might have been 7:30. It might have, you know, what I'm saying. So you don't know what I'm saying is if you know something that they're trying to get out of you. I don't give a who your friends are, who you trying to protect. I gotta get to work, and I'm sick of dealing with this. Jail, unfortunately for Rob. The police already knew that he was still holding back the dark details of what he got up to that night. What about a cell phone? Do you own that phone? Yeah, I own that phone. So, do you all want permission to check the location? That would be great. Yeah. No, that would be great though. Don't even check my phone in my phone. They're not answering. They're not looking in your phone for anything else. So you're certain that your phone GPS will keep you at your house. That night are. You are. You. So we got to tell. I can just say, I really don't know nothing about no murder. That is the truth. I don't know nothing about no murder, and I was not, pause. I was not there with no murder. That's not what they asked, though. That's not what they asked. What they asked was, when they pulled this GPS, will it show that you were at home in your bed, or will it show that you were somewhere else? That's the question that was asked. You don't know. I don't know what y'all want me to do. Like I'm telling you something, and I'm telling them the truth. Stop believing them. I was not there. Like I didn't say that. I was not there. You were there. First and foremost. You lied so much. I don't know what to believe will come down. Now you didn't bump the breeze that's been gone. Let's get that under. Like I'm going. But what I'm saying is, you so quick tomorrow. Protect people over. Let me finish, take these. You're so quick to want to protect people. Don't want to snitch. Want to be called this and called that, and not be known as it's in the painful working out of this, that you're willing to see her and go to murder, that I know you didn't do. I know more of that you didn't do it. But you want to be guilty by situation, because you don't want to tell who did it. That's the problem. I did not kill nobody. I did not kill. Nobody. Did somebody. You know. Do it. No. I don't know nothing about no murder. I don't know nothing about no murder if you lying. You standing on this island by your. So. Because if you got something to tell these people because they have the best way to tell if Rob was lying, was Chris, who was still in the room next door. He was sharing a bit more than Rob, and some key differences in their statements stood out. Already. What do you think he's going to tell Trevor? He's not going to with me. I swear to God, I didn't do anything. I promise you. I didn't do anything. Who did? I don't understand why. You keep lying, and then you go back. We're talking about life sentences here, right? And this is like really just, listen, y'all, actions in the people you choose to hang with. And all of this. It's slowly killing me. I should just pause. Let me talk. I'm supposed to be at work right now. I just took a promotion. I can't keep missing. Work, all that you are doing, are the people you hang with, are just any of that. Like about what they threatening me with contempt of court because I don't come to none of your quirky and stuff that you got going on. I make sure you get there. But I cannot keep missing work, and you send her my guys, telling me that you don't want a snitch, because your wife, and they don't kill you. It wasn't me. I didn't know. Why they trying to give me the license? I didn't understand that you killed anyone. You don't understand that you just is guilty. If you know who did it, and you're not saying nothing that's guilty by association. Like what part of that is not working for you? If you know who killed these kids, then you need to tell him. Some part of this tirade must have made an impression, because at long last, Rob shared his version of events. Ties. Kid on 3-0. Okay, tell me about it. Were you there? The whole story. Were you there? Tell me the whole story. Rob just mentioned 3 victims, but the detectives had so far only asked them about 2. Not only did this grab their attention, but they likely suspected that the Taj that Rob mentioned was 16-year-old Taj Bruton, with whom they were already acquainted, due to previous cases. Unfortunately, this didn't mean they knew where to find him. Several weeks earlier, Taj cut off his ankle monitor and went on the run. The detectives would focus on this after they got more of the story from Chris, who picked up the story after he said Rob, aka Reaper, knocked on his window. Okay, Reaper knocks on the window. He knocks on the window. He said, come over. She's girls or something. And we went out, and his girl, and what they disowned. What his girl is. What described from Rob's statement. The police believe this had to be Michael and Layla. He made no mention of Camille. However, even when he explained where everyone was sitting in Layla's car, the seating arrangement would be crucial. Later, Layla was driving. Michael was in the passenger seat while Chris and Rob were in the back seat, but they weren't alone, and somebody came in. The column was named, so it was like a somebody all black. Okay, and how does this person look? I know you said, he's wearing dark color clothes. Right, I know. Yeah, I heard you say that. I'm telling you, what if somebody got in the car wearing a ski mask? I'd be like, what is going on? But that didn't appear to be Chris's response, and the detectives likely had a horrible inkling as to why. Yeah, I was there wrong. I was like, I thought we won't get you some girl. He's like, I was like, large. And then we kept driving it throughout his interrogation. Chris would only refer to the man in the ski mask as the X-Men. Luckily, Robert already revealed the identity of their companion, which pick up ties soon as ties came out. Our first thing, he told me. Like, we not gonna. I was like, not, right. Even trying to do all that, it took a little more persuading. But Rob eventually told the police that they could find Taj at his girlfriend's house. They picked him up and brought him to the station after they finished talking to Chris and Rob. But instead of clearing up the questions, detectives had Taj made everything more confusing. He said everything was Rob's idea. I'm sitting right next to him. Am I like? He whispered in my ears like, I'm gonna rob these tonight, bro. I look at him like, what you mean? You can rob me the night. He's like, vessels they look. But he got a pound of eating somebody brown, and if they don't go for it, I'm gonna kill him. That's exactly how you say it is fun. I'm trying to give. I can't. Like if I tell Sosa right now, sitting right next to me, so therefore he's gonna shoot me. So I'm sitting here, I'm scared as hell. So I'm like, I ain't got no choice but to just sit here and just, it is what it is. Rob told detectives that it was the other way around. It was so random. Like he just said he wanted to knock him off. I'm not thinking he's serious though. Like at the time when he first said it, if you would have seen his face, like, but he was laughing. Like if I would have really thought he was gonna kill, like I would have got back in that car. I would have stayed right there and call my mom and be like, can you come get me? I didn't think he was serious until when the car starts slowing down and I seen him up the gun. Rob said that Taj did this because he wanted to take Michael's firearm over in Chris's interrogation room. His story aligned with Rob's. For now, what triggered him to just start shooting? I'm trying to figure out, because it's something in between that you're not saying. Because, I think the person that, the white guy, I think you say, yeah, a lot of money or something. Also, we was set up as a robbery. Okay. Now, we getting somewhere. Okay. So, they'll set the robbery in the Reaper mentioned that to you, that something was going to be set up or anything. He didn't realize. All her was pounding. I thought somebody was shooting at us. So I hopped out. The car ran. I'm looking boom boom. Once again. Tasha's version was a little different before shot. Is so boom. Layla got shot by a Rob because that was diagnosed. It was crazy. Just like that. It took 2 shots. It went no more than it took 2 shots to kill both of them. The police knew at least part of this was true. Who shot, who was yet to be determined. But tragically, they confirmed the second victim as Layla's boyfriend, Michael Hodo. He was in the grass by the side of the road, just blocks away from Layla. He was deceased when police found him. Michael's father had a heartbreaking reaction when he found out that his son would not be coming home. My son's dead, isn't he? I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. No, oh my God. No help. We have to talk. We have to find this out. Who's to find us? This is to go find out who did this. Finally, when I feel like, come, oh my God. While Michael's family reeled from the devastating news, Chris continued with his upsetting story about Michael's final moments. And you said he shot this white guy first. Yeah, the white guy was like sitting like this. And where are you shooting that fight right here? And the gun was pressed up against his head. And is that what I think you're right. Okay. And then what about the white girl that's driving? Tell me about that. He turned a gunshot. Where do you shoot her at? And I don't know. Rob agreed, which would soon become increasingly rare. Where did he shoot lately? I think it was headshots on the other hand. Taj put the blame back on his 2 companions. I know he shot. So send the back of the head. I seen that happen. I seen Rob try to shoot her, right? And when he tried to shoot her, he shot her. And then his gun didn't go off. So he reloaded it again and shot it. All contradictions temporarily aside. Chris added another disturbing detail. Did he see it coming? No, it was like to the back of it. Okay. Did have any time to defend himself? No. But I just up and shot him in the head. At this point, police were still searching Forest Lakes Park for evidence now that they knew the shooting had occurred in Layla's car. It was more important than ever to find the vehicle. Most of all, though they were looking for any sign of Camille, they hoped to find her alive. But the police were likely aware that, like Layla, she could be seriously injured and in need of medical attention. If that was the case, every passing moment decreased her chance of survival for the time being, though her family was left in an exhausting state of limbo. The situation was made infinitely worse by rumors that Camille had been caught up in the shooting. Frustratingly, the police still had no concrete answers. For her family, they had to hope that Chris, Rob, and Taj would ultimately provide an explanation. They got even closer when Chris continued with more of the story. But once again, the details started to get shaky. Was the car driving whenever they got shot? No, just like it stopped, and then, like it kept going, and I hopped out the car and kept going. Where did the car keep going? When it kept going? To a dumpster. Did you get back in the car? Yeah, did you want to get back in the car, or did you not know? You didn't want to. Okay, what made you get back in that car? Explain to me that because he had a gun, I thought he was going to get shooting at me. Because if I was just with him, he just killed somebody, and you probably would kill me too. 'Cause you think all of them say, on the contrary. Rob said that he was the one who jumped out of the car. We shot lately. I got out the car, 'cause the blood started dripping. I wanted to get on me. Cars claim the same thing. I get out of the car. They still shooting, because it was 4 to 6 shots. I don't know exactly how many shots it was, but it was a couple shots, bro. So at this point, we hear this lady. This lady is over there. I'm running. I'm trying to hide in the forest. I don't know what happened to do. I'm trying to call spring everything. So this lady, hey, what's going on over there? He sees me, or I guess. He ran back over there. I run over him. He was like, hey, what is that? A dirt. So I'm just, do what you tell me. Do I just want to go home? So the only thing that this established was that at least one of the boys had gotten out of the car. But this wasn't news, as the woman who saw the car hit the dumpster also told police that she saw a male figure running around shortly after she heard gunshots and saw the crash. The detectives decided not to challenge the boys on this front for now, and pushed for the truth on more important matters. Instead, it started with Rob. What happened to Layla? And where? Did they, I don't know, ties to Layla out the car and hopped in the driver's seat and start driving? Rob said. Taj repeated the process a short time later. Todd body off the car paddle, them down the candy, grabbed the candy, got back in the driver's seat, and drove off. Was that next to Layla, where she was pulled out? No, it was in a different spot. This made sense to police because the second crime scene, where Michael's body was found, didn't have much blood. There were, however, what appeared to be drag marks leading from the road towards the brush, where the body lay. Did you help take I ain't touch nobody, I ain't touch a body, I ain't touch nothing, I swear to God, I ain't touch nothing. What they were dead, I said. Take me home, man. Take me home. Yet. Taj said, that wasn't how it happened. Roger, I see, pull it out. Layla out of the car. That's why she got left by the dumpster. He starts driving. He's driving. Driving. We go around the corner. He goes over to social. He's so sad, thinking his somewhere on him. So he pulls us out of the car. He just dragged him over in some woods. And were you driving the car? No, I was not driving the car. The detectives ask Chris similar questions. Did you pull her out of the car? What is Rob doing during all this you've seen? Is what's he saying times? He was like, oh. He was like, oh. What happened next? And we didn't enjoy our way to show our out there, on the wall. He tried to put a damn river, but I think I stuck some. The thing. What thing? You talk about the car, okay? Once again, The detectives already had information that would let them know if one of the boys was lying. The search of Forest Lakes Park had finally paid off, leading police to another grisly and tragic discovery. Taj picked up the story again to tell his version of what they did with Layla's car. We get over here to this late. It's dark as hell. 3. 5. Get out of the car. He got in the car at Rocktail. 7. 8. Start wiping everything down. So he start wiping everything down. He's wiping everything down, the door handle, everything. He's wiping everything down. So how do you start with anything down? Roddy. I think Roddy's Layla phone. Or answers the phone. Or whoever. Phones he found in that bit doing in the lake, watched only the lake in question, turned out to be 5 and 2 miles or 8 kilometers outside Forest Lakes Park. But police had no question that this was the scene they were looking for when they dredged the lake. They recovered the 2 phones from the water, which were determined to be Michael and Layla's. But this wasn't the only evidence they found. Taj attempted to explain what was found as he continued his story starring Rob as the mastermind of the crime. He tilt. If I get in the car, drive the car to leave, for whatever reason when the detectives ask Chris, though he said he was nowhere near the car. At that point, were you in the car when it was going in the river, or I was out? I was trying to run back to you were out of the car. What was Rob doing? I don't know. I left. I was running back to tomorrow. What do you say he did with the car after that? I didn't ask all of it. I didn't ask them what about the guns that we're using. I don't know where those are, either. Oh, it's barely in the lake. Okay. When he drive, it might be look, 2 front tires in the lake might be a little bit more to hula. But the back of the car, all that is still out of the lake. That was exactly how the police discovered the car. What they found inside was more gruesome than they had ever anticipated. Back with Chris. He continued his tale. Describe to me the clothes that you were wearing that night, when all these bad things happened. What happened to him? He wanted us to burn. Who wanted you to burn him? Did you have blood or something on? No, are you sure? I don't think so. Feel like take a bender. Said we process that car, front to back, top to bottom, bottom to top, 3 times 3 days worth of actual forensic work. Several forensic people. I don't think you could have sat anywhere in that car and not got blood on you. I think it was something my shoe. I'm standing over here scared, as I think it's blood all over me, but it's dark, so. I don't know. But I think it's blood all over me. Rob said. Burning. The clothes was all Taj, of course, said it was Rob. Regardless of who had the idea, the police found the remains of clothing in a burn pile in the forest, including pieces of shoes, sweatpants, and sweatshirts. However, this was not the only clothing item. The police discovered intact Chris's shoes, which he described as Nike slides, were found discarded in the bushes, and a single glove was found near Michael's body. Another was found near the lake. The police asked Taj about this. So were you wearing gloves at this time? Yes, I was wearing gloves. 'Cause like I said, I was supposed to go pee. What about Rob? Rob was wearing gloves too. Taj revealed that the original plan was for the group to go car hopping that night, which was why he was wearing gloves and a ski mask. But police had to wonder if there was a far darker reason the boys brought these items for now. The detectives wrapped up the conversation with Rob. You feel a little better now that you were honest. Did. You need to get that off your chest. Now I feel like I just sneezed on everybody. And the detective stepped out. But little did Rob know that his night at the police station was far from over. There was a lot more that he needed to fess up to, but for now, he was left alone with his mother. Charge you 'cause you were there and you come forward. Do you come forward? I'm talking about when it happened. I'm just letting you know where you don't understand. What's the point? Is we're gonna ask you to step out now. Okay, hey mama. Wait, hey, is my mama still here? Yes. She's still wait. Mama, talk to me. Okay. Okay, can you see if they do charge me? Can you see if she could give me a lawyer? I didn't kill anybody. Relax, relax. Can you ask her? Please, Rob. Waited, asking the detective stationed at the door several times to bring his mother back, but she had left to go back to work before she did. She informed police that she did not want Rob answering any more questions without a lawyer. Present Rob was not on board with this plan. Hold on, how can I get charged for murder? Listen, can you explain it to me? Hold on, we got it. We're taking your DNA, okay. While the police took Rob's DNA, fingerprints, and photos, he continued to ask them how it was possible that he would be charged with murder. Listen, can I tell you the situation? Please, your mom's not here yet. We can't talk to you. She's closed. I don't know how far she got, but she is on her way. Rob's interrogation might have been on pause, but the conversation with Chris remained in full swing. The questions he faced were about to get a whole lot harder. They executed a search warrant on the house, which they did collect some things, and I'd like to talk to you about those things too. But because because it was like a surprise on that. Yeah, like what was in my house that is homicide. I will, and I'm going to tell you about that. Like I said, I'm not going to leave anything out. I can tell you. It's pretty damning, I guess. I would use that word so serious. Do you own any firearms, ma'am? Does anyone in your home own a firearm? Okay, 'cause I'm pretty sure they found 1 or 2 firearms in the house. And I'm sure you guys have watched CSI, right? We can take a firearm, we can shoot it that round that you shoot. We can take and we can put it into a computer and tell you who that can actually compare it to other fired casings, like the shell from the bullet. How Reaper? You told me, hold the gun from. How would you hold hands from? When you know some dead dumb just happened. That was stupid when Reaper gave you these. You think that they're going to be related to this, I think. So describe to me why you think that. 'Cause it will cause. He said, put these up. Put these up. Make sure you want a little fun. Okay. And the gun that you saw X-Men use, was it either one of those 2 guns? I think it's black. Meanwhile, Rob continued to wait. Didn't kill anybody. Charge. I do not want to be charged. Eventually, the detectives did come back to speak with them, since he was insistent on saying more, even though his mother did not return to the station. All right. So, I explained to you what your mom said on the phone, right? She wants to ask you any more questions while lawyer president. You reapproached me a couple times, and you said that you wanted to discuss some stuff further, right? I just want to make sure that we're clear, that you don't have to answer a question. You don't have to talk to us at this point. But you've stated to me that it's my case. I want to talk to you. Yes, because Rob's mom was no longer present. They read him as Miranda rights again. Right off the bat, he admitted to additional involvement. Ties told me to help him pull the body out of the trunk and throw it in the lake. He grabs it. He's trying to pull a leg. He was like, but it's heavy. I need help. So I grabbed one leg and I tried to help. I was like, that's too heavy. I don't want to do this. Put thing down. Left girl in trunk. 'Cause I told him I didn't want to hit. I didn't want to help him. Like Rob went on to tell a long rambling tale about selling his gun the day before the crimes took place. The detectives hear him out before dropping a bombshell. That's an issue, 'cause we have that gun now. No, that's not. It was at 3-5's house. You said you sold it. I did. That's not my gun. That was not mine. That's my gun. In addition to this, the police strongly suspected Rob had stolen the firearm. You not telling the truth, that you didn't pull a trigger. But you knew this was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. I did not notice the detectives had a similar exchange with Taj. We've sent some of the casings off to be examined already, but it's not back. I'll tell you that otherwise we would probably be having this conversation, that those casings are going to come back like he said to a third gun. So Third Gun Nation, multiple casings were found at all 3 crime scenes, but especially near the car, at the lake. Even if the boys weren't budging on the issue of who shot, who, lab tests would reveal the truth in due time. In the meantime, the detectives brought up something. 2 of the boys in particular were probably dreading. Let's talk about the trunk of that car. There's another part that we haven't talked about. Trump. It was a girl in the Trump, and he told me to open Trump. He shot. Where did he tell you to open the trunk from? You see this. Right now. Joe knows Trump from the inside, like the inside, okay? And whenever you pull that open, tell me about what you saw in there. I was asking. With love teaching. He said, he shot. Okay. All you saw was luggage, and like you look like a girl. And what part of her body could you see? Could you see your feet or hair? Her hand describing. I seen hair. I did not know that about another person in the trunk at all. Okay, so you just ride around. She just in there. Yeah. I mean, we rode around like that before, though. Just 'cause there ain't no room for all. Just 'cause there ain't no room for other people. When you go to open up that seat, what were you thinking in your head? Like, what am I gonna do? I was confused. I was like, yo. Like I was thinking. Like this person back. Did this person say something? I don't describe to me. What you heard whenever you opened that seat up. What noises? All I heard was somebody tell me to watch out, and I heard gunshot. Tragically, the third victim was determined to be none other than Camille. Her body was discovered 2 days after Layla was found on April 1st. Like Chris said, she'd been shot twice. The location of her wounds indicated that her death had been no accident. It was highly unlikely that Camille had been shot once in the back and once in the head by chance. As soon as she was identified, law enforcement made contact with her Aunt Amy for a difficult conversation. So you probably know why we're here. Where we've been investigating the incident. Happened Friday, involving Layla and the other individual that was found deceased. It took us a little while because we couldn't positively identify her. So it took us a little while, but, we're certain that it's Camille that is now deceased, probably to detective. Surprise Amy remains stoic. As it turned out, she already knew Camille was deceased. The grandpa of Layla actually came to my house when I found your car. Okay. Telling me that Camille was deceased, and how are you doing, is what he told me. That Camille was deceased already. I had a mother call me at midnight last night that, oh my God, my phone has not stopped, while Amy tried to come to terms with the loss of her niece. The detectives at the police station asked Chris more about the specifics of Camille's murder. What happened after he shot her? And close it, and we left. How many times did he shoot her? Yeah, that's Oregon, I think. Once, twice. Well, what is it? What is like twice? Okay, do you know what part of her body he shot her? No, when I opened the ego, everything, so I looked away, as if this wasn't horrific enough. Tosh put forth an even more disturbing version of events. Predictably, he insisted he was not the shooter. The culprit he named was Spine, Chilling, who folds the seat down, 3-5, because he was on the side. So he hops out of the car, right? He get out of the car, flip seat down, boom, hit her once, so he's already important to shoot her. Oh, I don't know. I couldn't see exactly where he shot her at all. And then she's not dead yet. So Rob sees that, and he shoots her to make sure she's dead. Also, Layla got one headshot, and then Camille got to cause she wasn't dead yet. For once, Rob agreed with Taj at least, partially before his mom left the police station. He told this to the police. It was 3-5 to get there. 3-5 dropped the seat and shot the girl, and he shot in the head. And it sounds like, shoot the back, shoot the back. 3-5-5 dropped the back seat and shot the girl. She was still alive, like finish her, so he shot him again. 3-5. Police knew was Chris's street name. Still, something wasn't quite right. After getting this far, the police were not willing to accept anything short of the full truth. Now, Reaper Rob, there's a lot of similarities that are overlapping here, but there's definitely discrepancy. That Rob told us about what happened to the person in the trunk, that he's trying to make him the shooter. Right? Yeah, that's what y'all leaving out. I mean, be honest. Be honest. We being honest here. Just be honest. Is he the shooter? That's what they're saying. That's all you got. Is all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do is just say that. I mean, stop going around it. I can tell you that he is not you. Chris are not being blamed for those people in the front seat, in the back seat. Is with the trunk, is the one that we have. We have some issues with the trunk. Be honest, baby. It's okay. Because you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better. Once you talk about what is. Tell me, just say. If I do it, you won't kill everybody I know. So tell us. Which one of them? Okay. Then you, okay? Everybody. I know. Who made you do it? Who is it? Rob. Rob made you do it. Yeah. He said, he gonna kill everybody. You know what? Who is X-Men? I don't know who that is now. Now. Did you just calm down? Yet again. Rob said something different before his mom left the station. He had shared this information. Todd may have killed a person, or he was gonna kill 3-5. Is that what he said? He told 3-5. You don't kill his girl. I'm gonna shoot you in your head. What's going on here? He said that he was gonna kill. He would kill everybody. You know. And he did fire a gun. Tell me about what you did. I think I shot the girl, and I don't know where it was. But maybe he came up and shot her too. Okay. So when you shot her, what gun did you use when you shot her? The eggs do give me the sky. If Chris used Taj's firearm, that would explain why they only found 2 weapons during the search warrant. This brought up another question, though, which the detectives had addressed with Rob and his mom. So that's my concern. Here is that you said that Tash was pretty much orchestrated this and was concerned that 3-5 would snitch on him. So he made him 3-5 do that. But you saying that he was completely fine with you, not any part of that. Yes, with me. He just told me, if you snitch cut, I'm gonna kill you with his mom there. Robin insisted that he was innocent now that she was gone, though the police hoped he might be more forthcoming. I honestly don't think you're a cold-blooded killer. I know Taj. I've dealt with him. I've dealt with you, and there's a reason I wanted to talk to you. Because I don't think you're that dude. I don't think you're a cold-blooded killer. Taj, I don't know anything about 835. I've never met him, but I'm telling you that when the evidence says that you were there and that you shot someone, there is no explaining. Evidence is going to tell you that I'm there. But I'm all I can tell you is that I didn't shoot nobody. Did you shoot Leo? No. Because I got information that somebody is in the car, had a thing for Layla, and he couldn't do it. So somebody else did it. No. Okay. That's not true. Your brother's talking. Is there any reason why he would be telling people that you shot one of those people if you didn't do it? Police likely use this as a tactic to get Robbed to talk and hopefully reveal the truth. Perhaps this was how Amy knew Camille was deceased before the detectives contacted her in Chris's interrogation room. His mother struggled to come to terms with what he'd done. This is 3 people. This is a serious "you will kill our family." What I was due. That's why I understand. Now, Chris, take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath now. Listen to me. When you say that someone threatens your family and threatens you, I need to put it in the report to take a deep breath. Please tell me, what am I supposed to do? Chris's mom didn't have an answer to that. She asked one of the detectives if she could step out for a moment to compose herself. You know where I live, and you know my old family. You gonna kill my old? Are you talking about Reaper or, yeah, are you talking about Stabo Reaper? You don't kill my. Let's talk about X-Men real quick. I think you know who X is, and I think you're scared of them rightfully. So, they both said, it will come on. You can't. They both said that. Did they ever point a gun at you or anything like that? Yeah. Who pointed a gun at you? Yeah, it's me. She's like, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Kill you down. Kill your mom. Rob also told the detectives that he and Chris were in serious danger at the time of the crime. Take some of that. Todd tell you, even do something and you decide not to do it with him. I probably would have died with this. So, were you afraid of Taj that night? Because if I did not do what Taj wanted me to do, I would have died that night. With them. Taj is that bad dude. Bro, on the other hand, claimed. Rob always planned to let him take the blame, if anything. If one of us go down to anything. And Todd, it was you. It was you. You did it. Everything you did. It legit. You shot everybody in the car. It was not a me. She got caught up. Then I was with. Then he was going to go find my mama. The whole night. I did not have a gun. Rob continued with a story claiming that he only participated out of fear. Did Taj tell you to put the gun to somebody that Taj told me he killed? He told me he gonna kill Sosa. He wanted me to shoot Layla. And then he wanted to defy. Shoot the granny back. I told him I didn't want to do. Tell me if I didn't do it. He was gonna kill me. You hold the gun to her Layla's head. Yeah, but I tried to shoot it, but it clicked. Like I tried to shoot, but it clicked. Like I didn't have it cocked back. I tried to shoot it, and it clicked twice. So this guy would just did it itself. That's why think I said that. My gun was it. Listen now. The truth, yes, you don't come by like what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so how long? How long before he actually pointed the gun? He told you to shoot. Layla, we was already in the car. Like he put it in his notes. Show me. And then deleted the note. When was that in the night? How early, how much? No, that was like right before it happened. Did you shoot that girl to Trump and Trump? Yeah, like I said, I wasn't there. 25 shot. They got in the trunk. Still, the police suspected something was being left out. Was she still moving after he shot her? He said she was still breathing or something. Who said that? X-Men or Rob? Did you shoot the girl once, or did you shoot her twice? I mean, doesn't matter at this point. I shot her. I shot it once. And he shot. He shot her again. Chris was talking about Rob. Thankfully, the police were finally getting somewhere with him too. You shot it once. How many times you shoot her? Once you shot her. Once where'd you shoot her? I don't know. Yeah, you do. There's no question. There ain't no question where she shot. There's you talking about one end to the other. Where did you shoot her just shot? Bro, I seen her and I shot. Like why? Because she was still alive. She was gonna snitch on us all. Was all gonna go to jail for life. I didn't want to do none of it. If I didn't kill that girl. Stop. It was going to kill me. I swear to God. I'm looking at her in her eyes. She's dead. Finally, the truth came out. Ballistics reports comparing shell cases found at the scene to the firearms found in Chris's house indicated a match. Whether or not there was a third shooter remained to be seen. I do. I did not want it to happen. I never wanted that to happen. Like I never wanted to kill anybody. I never wanted to shoot anybody. I never want any of that. I just wanted to get a little bit of money. The detectives made one last effort. With Taj. People already ended up there. Because you guys' craziness. Not my craziness. It's not my craziness. Were you going to rob them and it was like, either you had to do what you had to do, or a finger slipped, and it scared everybody in the car. And then, it's too late at that point. Yeah, I feel you. But that makes more sense than the story that they're telling that you planned to kill these people that you did from the beginning of the night. I didn't shoot nothing. We talked to Rob, and we talked to Chris for hours. For whatever reason, one of them was more afraid of bringing you into the middle of this than they were robbed. So, for that story, that Rob's this guy, that's, threatening everybody, and or his people, threatening people or your people. I just don't see that. But Taj remains stalwart, insisting that he had never used a firearm that night. The detectives hoped that unpacking one final secret could be the key to determining the truth about his involvement. They turned back to Rob to accomplish this. Like Chris and his mom, Rob was also given a jacket to keep warm in the cold police station, but he used it in a less typical way. Even as he tried to get comfortable in the interrogation room, one of the detectives returned to unpack a final secret to try to pull the case together. KTM. What exactly? What is it that you guys do? What is it, like a gang? No. It's the first time you did something for it. Who? So who, how many guys, how many people, consider themselves a part of gay team? Few of the sweet, stubborn FIFA Rob's list went on, but he only had nicknames for most of the KTM members, not their real names. Notably, Michael, Layla, and Camille were not included. I was the leader of Chris, was somehow even less willing to give up the details of KTM. What's the deal with the KTM thing? Huh? I don't know. I know Reaper has the tattoo. What does it mean? Cutthroat. Cutthroat mentality. Does it sound right? What exactly is that? But just like a made-up gang name. Thanks for that. One of Michael's close friends eventually came forward, provided the police would keep his identity anonymous, and confirmed that KTM was indeed a gang. His description of their activities was chilling. Their mentality is their mentality, that they will do anything to you and not give a fuck just to get the money. Yes, just to get the money. Just to get what they want. Basically. With that, the detectives had all the information they needed to move forward with the case. It had taken 8 hours each to get the truth from Rob and Chris. The detective stepped out, leaving Ashley and Chris alone for a few moments. Listen to me, listen to me. It's not over. Yes, it is. It's not over. He's not a you just better pray and hope that you're the gun that you shot her with. Wasn't Ashley also had some devastating news to deliver that was sure to upset him further? So trying to figure out something. I'm trying to get out of this. When I get out of here, I'm trying to get you. Ashley had a warrant out for her arrest, and in order to be with her son while he was interrogated, turned herself into police. She was charged with possession of cocaine and methamphetamine and taken to county jail. Chris, Rob, and Taj were all taken to juvenile detention, and on May 15, 2023, a grand jury indicted all three boys' preparations, began to take the case to trial, where they will be tried as adults. Taj and Rob are both facing 3 counts of murder in the first degree, because tragically Layla did not survive her injuries. She passed away just days after Camille's body was discovered. Taj also has been charged with robbery with a firearm, tampering with evidence, tampering with an electronic monitoring device, carjacking, while armed aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and grand theft auto. Rob had a similarly long list of charges in addition to 3 counts of murder, including armed burglary, grand theft of a firearm, petty theft robbery, with a firearm and tampering with evidence. Chris, meanwhile, was only charged with 1 count of murder for Camille, whom he admitted to shooting while she was in the trunk. The other charges against them were dropped, including grand theft of a firearm and burglary. However, he's now facing an additional charge of battery after getting into a fight while incarcerated. Currently, all 3 boys have entered pleas of not guilty, but the trial is ongoing. What the court finds and how justice will be served for Layla, Michael, and Camille remains to be seen.